What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We're back. I feel like it's been forever since we both recorded together.
Has it?
I feel like...
I feel like we recorded 2 days ago together.
Did we?
Yeah.
Well, no, we haven't recorded for like 3-4 days.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. It's been a while since we recorded together. You've seen me and my mum, you've seen you on your own, you've seen our America videos.
Yeah, well, you're wrong, because when you recorded with your mum, I recorded as well. One video of me, one video with your mum.
When? No, that was on Friday last week.
Oh.
That was last week. Anyway, smash that button,
it's
guys.
Tuesday.
Smash that subscribe. It's Wednesday.
Is that true?
Smash that subscribe button. What is the largest lake in every US state? I don't know. I imagine some of them are massive. I'm going to guess Michigan has the largest lake.
What, Lake Michigan?
Yeah, I don't know if it's that lake. I'm going to say Michigan. What's
Doesn't
your
that
guess?
run through quite a lot of states?
That's a Mississippi river,
River,
but that's not a lake, is it?
No.
I don't know. I'm going to go Lake Michigan. What are you going?
I'm going to go with Kansas.
Kansas?
Don't know, just
Maybe.
random.
Maybe random. It's in the middle, so maybe not, but maybe.
Oh yeah, lake has to come from water, doesn't it?
Well, no, you can have a lake in the middle, but is it going to be as big? I don't know. Let's get into it. Smash that button, guys. Smash the subscribe, and let's find out the largest lake in every state. Every state has lakes.
Right behind me is Lake Michigan, the largest lake entirely within the United States and one of the largest bodies of fresh water.
I know what I was doing
You
in the first few seconds.
definitely have
Promise.
pressed it.
You've seen me find this video, not that... Anyway, let's get into it because it's been a while already.
Lake Michigan, the largest lake entirely within the United States and one of the largest bodies of fresh water in the world. I'm in Chicago, Illinois, but Lake Michigan isn't only in Illinois, of course. It's shared by 4 states in total.
Not
So
in
what are the
Michigan,
largest
you
lakes that
idiot.
are located entirely in just one state? Let's take a look at all 50 states' largest lakes in order from smallest to largest surface area. I'm Chicago geographer. Don't forget
So
to
I
leave a
still might
like
be
on
in
this
for a
video
chance.
and
Yeah, I might still win
Yeah,
though.
you're out.
It might still be in Michigan.
You're
It's
out.
not that lake. Anyway,
eh.
link to their channels in the description below and subscribe here.
You're out.
I don't know.
subscribe to the
Not
channel
yet.
for more GeoGuessr and geography videos just like this one, and let's get started. Delaware is the first state and the first state on this list. Their largest lake is so small it's only called a pond, Lum's Pond, with a surface area of 0.31 square miles.
Okay.
Lum's Pond is also the first of
It's
many
nice.
Looks
man-made
massive, though,
lakes
to be
on
fair
this
to me.
list, which I chose to include because the majority of states' largest lakes are actually man-made reservoirs, and they can be just as
They're still
important
quite
to
big.
recreation and wildlife as natural lakes. Back to Lum's Pond, though, it was built to help fill the Chesapeake and Delaware Canal's locks. Today, a very pleasant state park surrounds the pond.
Okay.
Over
Nice.
in Hawaii, they've got a natural lake as their largest, but this one presents an unusual case. Halali'i
Ooh.
Lake is ephemeral, meaning it's only full of water during the rainy seasons. At its fullest, it measures about 1.31 square miles.
There's rain in Hawaii.
Yeah, it rains. Is it not a puddle then? Just a massive puddle if it's
Yeah,
only
like-
because of rain?
Oh my god, Peppa Pig would have a field day.
I think Peppa Pig would drown, surely. Like, what?
This lake's remote location on the sparsely populated island of Niihau means it doesn't get many visitors. At least, that's what I gathered from the most liked review on Google Maps.
Okay.
Vermont also has the natural largest lake in Lake Bomazene, which feels appropriate for a state so admirably protective of its natural beauty. Vermont is also famous for the vast Lake Champlain, but that is of course
Okay.
shared with New York. Lake Bomazene, entirely in Vermont, measures at 3.75 square miles, and it's the first mainly residential lake on the list, with hundreds of homes circling its shoreline.
Oh, that must be
Nice.
nice.
An even more
Living on the
residential
lake.
lake is New Jersey's largest. Lake Hopatcong is about 3.9 square miles and located among the far west suburbs of New York City. This lake is natural but was
Ooh.
expanded by damming and
All them little boats. Imagine having a home and having your boat there.
I know, like your own little dock
Wake up on a
station.
Saturday, hop in the boat, go around that massive lake. That's sick, innit? That's for life.
that
Especially if
is-
it's red hot as well.
Yeah, it's New Jersey though, so
Get warm in the summer.
in the winter, yeah.
Yeah, get warm in the winter. It'll get warm in the summer, I reckon.
Yeah.
Warmer than the UK at least.
Yeah.
merging two
Don't take
ponds.
much.
It was a popular resort destination for well-off New Yorkers for many decades, but became more residential after the Great Depression.
Okay.
West Virginia's almost entirely mountainous terrain doesn't leave much room for lakes to form, and sure enough, its largest lake is man-made. Summersville Lake is
Kinda gives me a
4.22 square
River
miles in
Thames
area,
vibe.
a narrow lake formed by a dam along the Gauley River. It was built in the 1960s,
wow.
and in 2023, a northern section of the lake became a new West Virginia state park.
Okay.
Rhode
pretty.
Island really outperforms its size by avoiding the bottom 5. The smallest state's largest lake is the Scituate Reservoir, a 5.3 square mile body of water that looks impressively large relative
Oh,
to
it is,
tiny
to be
Rhode
fair,
Island.
isn't it?
Along with several other smaller interconnected reservoirs, it provides drinking water to the majority of Rhode Islanders.
It's massive.
Wow.
The largest lake in Maryland is way out west in the Panhandle. Deep Creek Lake is another man-made reservoir, checking in at 6.09 square miles. Along its hilly shoreline is a good mix of residential developments and recreational areas. Visitors to this
I tell
beautiful
you what, I
lake
would
can
love
check...
to live on a lake like that. In a nice hot place, if not a lake, that would be pretty cool. It'd be pretty scary at night.
Yeah, I don't think I'd enjoy it.
Do you know, like when you see on movies, it's always a bit creepy around lakes at night.
Yeah, I don't think I think
But
that would freak me out.
I think it's really
unfortunately.
nice.
It's very
one of the
pretty.
greatest town names in the country nearby, Accident, Maryland.
That's an excellent way to
Connecticut
happen.
keeps us in the northeast for now, with Candlewood Lake at nearly 8.5 square
That's a
miles
pretty
being
name.
its largest. Its location in western Connecticut makes it part of the official New York City metro area, and is the largest lake in that region. This reservoir's southern end stretches
It's
into
starting
the
to get
city of
big.
Danbury, and it's a popular summer home destination. Pennsylvania seems a bit early on the list for a state its size. Although technically a Great Lakes state with part of Lake Erie, the largest lake entirely in PA is Raystown Lake at 13 square miles. It's a
Ooh.
reservoir
Nice.
snaking its way between the Appalachian Mountains. The lake was
Yeah,
created
that's
in
nice in the mountains.
1972 by a dam that flooded the original dam from 1905, which is now a scuba diving attraction.
Oh wow.
And rounding out the bottom 10 is another surprisingly large state, Colorado. Interestingly, there's no larger lake here than Blue Mesa Reservoir, coming in at 14.34 square miles. Formed by a dam along the Gunnison River, this lake is protected as part of a national recreation area, and for good reason too. Blue Mesa Reservoir is stunningly beautiful.
Yeah.
25.
Is stunningly beautiful.
It looks very
Midwestern
barren though.
Indiana's
Seems quite
largest
barren.
lake is Lake Monroe at 16.8 square miles. Yet another reservoir,
we're getting
this
close to
one's in the
20 square
picturesque hills
miles.
near Bloomington, and is one of 2
That's
lakes
nice
on this
shape.
list that I've been to. My friends and I camped nearby last year and hiked along this cool peninsula. It was
Ooh,
unseasonably
nice walks.
cold and snowing though. Classic
Oh, I
mid-
know, 16.8 square miles. Like in the UK, a lot of reservoirs and stuff like you just walk around, and it's nice. Not every single one, but a lot of them you can just walk around.
Yeah, like Jersey has 2, and
It's like a
they're both walks.
20-minute walk,
Yeah,
half an hour walk max.
it took me half an hour to run it. Remember when I ran Queens Valley?
Yeah, but do you not go around a couple times?
No.
There was walking there as well. Maybe a 40-minute walk.
Yeah.
40-minute walk, I reckon.
I reckon if you're like
Um,
enjoying yourself and slow pace, just chilling an hour.
Yeah, but imagine walking around this 16.8 square miles. That'd take you days.
Yeah, no.
Midwest weather. Neighboring Ohio's largest lake is an interesting one, the very rectangular Grand Lake St. Mary's at just over 21 square miles. This lake is
That's an
man-made and
interesting
took
shape.
8 years to complete while workers dug the lake bed with hand tools. Once
All
finished in
handmade.
1845, it was apparently the largest man-made lake in the entire world.
That is
Despite its
impressive.
size, the workers didn't dig down too far. The average depth is just 5 to 7 feet.
I'm not surprised.
And here's the other
Yeah,
lake
that's
I've
mad.
been
You
to.
think, oh, this lake's massive, and you can just walk into the middle.
Yeah, I
But
couldn't.
if you're man making that, you ain't digging 20 foot, are you?
5 feet, am I...
Whoa, you might just get your head out. You get your head out, you get your head out.
Iowa's Lake Red Rock. Just southeast of the state capital, Des Moines, it's a reservoir measuring about 24.25 square miles. An exactly 1 mile long
thin
bridge crosses the
compared to the
lake,
others.
which was really interesting to drive across with my friends on the way to our campsite. We also did take a quick swim in the lake. Kansans out there watching can be very proud that they beat
Oh, damn it.
Colorado at a geography
37.
category, as
Michigan's
their
beat
Wilford
ya.
Lake checks in at
37.
24.5 square miles. This
Okay.
one's located right next to Junction City and the sprawling
Massive.
Army base Fort Riley, providing ample
Okay.
recreational opportunity for residents. Like many other reservoirs, another main goal of creating Milford was flood control.
Okay.
It's been a good run of artificial lakes, but Michigan finally delivers another
There we
natural
go.
lake
Michigan
with
just
Open
beat
Lake
ya.
at 31.32
Even though Lake Michigan is named after Michigan, so I'm having that. It's part of the state, it just creeps into other ones.
Oh, you're not having that?
I am having it, but look at this big boy of a lake.
square miles. This is a vastly popular outdoors destination, and just about every inch of its shoreline has a house or hotel on it. The lake
Oh,
freezes
wow,
over in
every
the
inch.
winter and hosts one of
Oh
the nation's
my.
largest festivals for ice
Oh,
fishing
that's
and other
sick.
winter
That's
activities.
crazy.
Yeah, we need
And
to
it's
go to that
right
one
back
day.
to man-made lakes
is
with
insane.
Virginia's Smith Mountain Lake, a 32-square-mile reservoir southeast of Roanoke. Created in the 1960s
I'm not
as a
going to North America, it's
hydroelectric
cold.
dam project, it now provides electricity and drinking water to the area, which has also become very
That looks
popular
pretty.
for its desirable real estate and plentiful recreation. Arizona takes us southwest for the first time. The largest lake entirely within the state is Theodore Roosevelt Lake. This
Okay,
33.58 square mile reservoir is part of the Salt River Project, a
That's
government
nice. Nice
utility which manages several reservoirs along said river that provide drinking water to the millions of central
Not as
Arizona
populated
residents.
though, is it?
No.
People-wise.
I absolutely love the name of Massachusetts' largest lake, the Quabbin Reservoir, in the center of the state. Occupying 38.6 square miles, this is the main drinking water source for Boston and many of its nearby suburbs, despite being much closer to Springfield. The land
Yeah, I can imagine like wood cabins and all sorts on there, just a little bit in the woods.
Yeah, then I can imagine murders.
Oh yeah, definitely, but that's everywhere.
for Boston
too
and
pretty
many of
to
its
be
nearby
nice.
suburbs, despite being much closer to Springfield. The land around the lake is mostly undeveloped and only accessible on foot in order to
okay.
protect the water quality.
That's fair play. I like
And
that.
here's my home state of
It's
Illinois,
drinking
but
water, you know?
unfortunately I've never been to Carlisle Lake, our largest one, at about 40.6 square miles. Located straight east of the St. Louis area, it's formed by a dam on the Kaskaskia
That's
River
like-
and primarily exists for
Other than
Massive.
that way, I was gonna say what I was gonna say before it switched to camera angles. But
Okay,
if you
okay.
go that,
Yeah. Oh.
it's the first one that's looked like it's just in like the middle of like a village or something.
Yeah, like
Like
in
this
England.
side, it literally looks like
the Thames and all that going through and all that,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
then
yeah.
like you're
the
like,
St. Louis
Oh,
area.
yeah.
It's
Oh,
formed by a
massive.
dam
Then,
on the
like,
Kaskaskia
nowhere.
River
It's a sea.
and primarily exists for flood management. And of course, it would not be a true Illinois landmark without being immortalized in song by Sufjan Stevens.
oh, it's got a song after it.
Mississippi takes us over
Let's go
50
check that
square
out.
miles for the first time, with its Grenada Lake measuring about 55 square miles. Several large reservoirs, including Grenada, were built in this part of the state for flood protection after the Great Mississippi Flood of 1927. This
Wow.
remains the most
Let us know, by
destructive...
the way, how does a lake help prevent flood detection? Is it so the water fills up there, so it's always like a ridiculously low level, like because it looks a low level there, and then it fills it up? Is that why? Just let us know, because
Yeah.
they keep saying about lakes being brought in for flood protection, but then it's just collating bodies of water. I honestly don't know the science behind it or just the simpleness about it. So please let us know in the comments. It'd be interesting.
flood in U.S. history, so I can see why they wanted to prevent it from happening again. Out in Nebraska is Lake McConaughey, or apparently Lake Mac, as locals say. A 55.78 square mile reservoir, it was completed
55
in
square
1941
miles.
as part of a New Deal era project to provide hydroelectricity and improved irrigation to Nebraska. Kingsley Dam, which creates the lake along the North Platte River, was the second largest earthen dam in the world when it was first finished. New Mexico has a fun largest lake name, Elephant Butte Lake, which is right next to another fantastically named American town, Truth or Consequences. Name a more iconic
Wow.
duo. When the lake was filled in 1916 to 57 square miles, it was the largest man-made lake in the
Wow.
world.
That is
It gets
massive.
its name from a
These are
supposedly
man-made.
elephant-shaped
Yeah,
rock
that's
formation
ins- that
that's
is
now an
insane,
island at
man-made.
the southern end. Atlanta area residents know Lake Lanier well, a 59 square mile reservoir northeast of the city. Several water events were held here during the 1996 Summer Olympics, and it
wow.
remains a highly popular recreation destination. Since the lake impounds the Chattahoochee River that also flows in Alabama and Florida, it led to a tri-state dispute over rights to withdraw the lake's water. Tennessee
Makes
has
sense. They
several
all want
large
the water.
reservoirs
Yeah.
that it shares with other states, so the largest entirely in Tennessee is Watts Bar Lake. Measuring about 61 square miles,
That is
it's a
61
narrow lake
square
following
miles.
the winding
Big.
path of the Tennessee River, which was dammed to create it. The dam produces hydroelectricity as a major component of the Tennessee Valley Authority's projects. And North Carolina rounds out the bottom half of this list, finally
Okay.
giving us another natural lake. Just inland from Pamlico Sound is Lake Mattamuskeet at about 62.5 square miles. Located
Kind of
in a
seen
very
the
rural
size.
and swampy part of the state, the lake is home to a national wildlife refuge with thousands of migratory waterfowl arriving at its
wow.
shallow waters
That's a
every
lot of
year.
That'd
birds.
freak me out.
We are halfway
You're
through
never going there, are you?
migratory waterfowl arriving at its shallow waters every year. Starting up the second half of the video is yet another southern state, Arkansas, whose largest lake is Lake Ouachita. Aptly
that's spread
located
out
in the
everywhere.
Ouachita
Like a
National
spider.
Forest near the city of Hot
That's
Springs,
nice.
this 63 square mile reservoir
That sea
provides
don't look real.
everything one can want from a reservoir.
That's because it ain't sea, it's lake.
No, but Like,
I know, but
why
what?
was it purple?
I don't know. It would just be angle. I suppose a bit of editing, but it does look stunning. Like, that's real.
Yeah, that looks
And that's
real.
stunning.
For electricity, drinking water, flood control, and countless recreational opportunities. New Hampshire joins the exclusive natural largest lake club with the impressive Lake Winnipesaukee measuring 71 square
Winnipesaukee, I
miles.
love
It
that.
takes up a pretty big chunk of small New Hampshire's center, and it's in fact the
A big
third
chunk.
largest lake in all of New England. Lake Winnipesaukee was the site of the country's first intercollegiate sporting event, the Harvard-Yale Regatta, in 1852.
Okay, you've got enough
Lake
room for it.
Cumberland is the largest in Kentucky, a huge reservoir created along the Cumberland River in the Appalachian foothills. At 79 square miles, there's enough water in the lake to cover the entire state of Kentucky in 3 inches of water. The lake is critically
Oh, wow.
important to the
Don't want that
economy
to
of
flood.
the region, drawing millions of tourists and producing significant electricity.
Okay.
New York's largest lake isn't quite one of the Finger Lakes, at least geologically, but some locals do call Oneida Lake the Thumb, given its chunky shape and
Oh, wow,
thumb-like
there's quite a lot of finger lakes, isn't there? I've got all them little finger lakes up there. I've never noticed that before. It's just some more of a chunky monkey lake, isn't it? Like an Archie lake.
placement compared to the others. At nearly 80 square miles in surface area, this vast and relatively shallow lake is part of the historic Erie Canal. Many small lakefront towns dot its shoreline. You might have guessed Lake of the Ozarks for Missouri, but Truman Reservoir barely beats it by just a few hundred acres.
Oh, wow.
Coming
Wow.
in at 87 square kilometers, it's a far less
it's got
touristy lake
87
just
square
west of Lake of
miles.
the Ozarks
Crazy.
along the same
That's
river, the
insane.
Osage. Like basically every reservoir on this list, its creation displaced several towns and communities, but today provides a wide variety of resources and benefits.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Oregon kicks off the top 20 with the
96.
breathtaking Upper
What do
Klamath
you think
Lake.
the biggest is going to be?
I reckon like 4 or 5.
450?
No, 4 or 500.
4 or 5,000? Oh, 4 or 500, sorry. Yeah, no, you just said 4 or 5.
No, I did. I said
There were
4
no
500.
or.
No. I said 4 500, and then you went, what, 1,000?
Well, I thought you meant 4,500 is what I thought you were saying.
4 5, like 4 5.
Yeah, you just missed out
4 500. What, 1,000? I don't know where you got that
what
from.
you were saying. Do you know
Alright.
people sometimes say 1,300 and stuff like that? I thought you were just saying like 4,500.
Lake with a surface area of about 96 square miles. It's a natural lake, but a dam was
Ooh.
completed in 1917 to help manage the water levels. Despite the lake's good looks, it earned a reputation for foul-smelling water in the
Ooh.
pioneer days, driven by its high accumulation of nutrients and therefore microorganism growth.
You don't want
Ooh,
smelly water.
nice.
Alabama brings us over the 100 square mile mark with Guntersville Lake, a 108 square mile reservoir that occupies the northwest
that's
corner
thin.
of the state. It's another lake
Ooh.
along the Tennessee River,
Nice.
and like Tennessee's largest lake, it was created as part of the Tennessee Valley Authority's projects to revitalize river transportation, electricity, and recreation in the region. Finishing the New England states is Maine's largest lake,
Moosehead.
which is also New England's second largest lake. Lake Champlain takes the gold, but up in Maine we have Moosehead Lake, a natural lake of about 117 square miles, sitting in the
That gives me
rural
Harry Potter
mountainous
vibes.
forest
Yeah,
of the state.
definitely.
The small town of Greenville
You know when
at
they go
its
to the
southern edge is one of the
coffin?
only built-up
Wait,
parts
I
of
don't know
its
why I said
shoreline.
yeah, definitely, because I don't watch Harry
Dumbledore's
Potter.
grave, like they go to like a little island like this, literally like this to get his wand out the grave. Voldemort does.
Okay.
Literally looks like that.
Oh, does it? I was thinking, I don't know why I said yeah, definitely, because I had my mind occupied. I don't know, I was thinking I need to watch this guy's videos again. There's this one, I don't know how I got onto it. Do you know, like when you just get in, maybe some people found us by random YouTube path of videos. And he just like camps in random things where you're technically like not allowed. So like, it's like stealth camping. So camping in the middle of a roundabout. And so far, and he did it, one night, I only ever watched him as one night. I want to find it because it was quite interesting. And I got to like the 5th video, and he did it in the middle of a lake, which you weren't allowed to like stay on overnight or anything like that. And we were on an island in the middle of the lake, snuck out in the middle of the night, stealth camped, didn't leave any mess and all that, and then...
But like, how are they gonna know?
But like, the roundabout, police and all that go by and stuff like that, and if they see any light, they will come and kick you off. So that's the idea, but you've got to be
Are you
stealthy.
not allowed?
I think, yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know. It's illegal. It seems illegal anyway because he was worried about police in a lot of these situations. But it looked identical to that. So maybe
wow.
it was this river. Maybe it wasn't.
Famous
I imagine
river.
there's
It's a lake, but yeah.
This lake, yeah, and a random thing.
State.
Looks
the
like
small
Harry Potter,
town of
apparently.
Greenville at its southern edge is one of the only built-up parts of its shoreline. Washington's famous Grand Coulee Dam along the Columbia River creates Lake Roosevelt. At about 125 square miles, it stretches along a huge portion of the Columbia, nearly reaching Canada. The lake is protected as part of the Lake Roosevelt National Recreation Area, and Grand Coulee Dam is the largest power station in the country. Visitors to Yellowstone National Park have almost certainly seen Yellowstone Lake, the largest lake in Wyoming. This picture-perfect...
Well, that doesn't surprise me, to be fair. That's in Yellowstone.
When we go on Yellowstone, should we walk around it? That'll be our task. It'll be the whole trip.
That'll be such a waste of like 2 weeks.
136 square miles.
Its all-natural lake measures about 136 square miles, and being 7,700 feet above sea level, is North America's largest lake at high elevation. A centerpiece of America's first national park, this is one of the most culturally important lakes in the world. Neighboring Idaho's largest lake is Lake Pend Oreille, an incredible 148 square mile and natural lake.
Just very quickly, pass me fair. We need to look up the square mile of Jersey.
Right, I'll do it.
We need to quickly confirm this, because I think we're getting... I don't want to say something stupid here. What?
It's 120 square kilometres.
I thought it was... Yeah, I thought it was going to be that.
It's 45.5 square miles.
Is it that though? I was just say it was in the 100.
It's 9 by 5.
Oh, I was doing 9 by 12 in my head. It's 9 by 5. For some reason I always say it's 9 by 12, but it's 9 by 5. I was like...
45.5 square miles.
I was like, in my head, I was like, 148. I think that's going to be above Jersey. But I didn't want to... Yeah, wow. So all these lakes are bigger than Jersey, which is mad.
Although I don't understand how we do the 48-mile walk.
Because it's... The square miles is the overall thing, but you're in and out,
Yeah.
going around.
So, yeah.
That's mad. And that's square miles, not miles.
45.5 square miles.
That's mad, isn't it?
120 square kilometres.
That's mad, isn't it? And this 3 times, pretty much.
Just the lake.
Wow.
Largest lake
That's just how big
Lake
it
Pend
is.
Oreille, an incredible 148 square mile and natural lake located in the Panhandle. This is an immensely popular lake for recreation among inland Northwest residents. As the 5th deepest lake in the country, it proved useful for U.S. naval training during World War II, and some submarine testing is still conducted here. It's right back to reservoirs for a bit with Oklahoma's Eufaula Lake at about 159.4 square miles and located right in the middle of eastern Oklahoma. It's part of the Canadian River system and also has a distinct reddish tint from the red soils of Oklahoma. And incredibly, we have ourselves a tie between Oklahoma's largest lake and South Dakota's.
When you get to 159 square miles, how do you tie? That's mad, like... Do you know what I mean? It's such a big thing.
Measuring about 159.4 square miles, Lake Francis Case is the largest entirely in South Dakota. This state went absolutely nuts with reservoirs, by the way. Basically, the entire Missouri River has been dammed and turned into artificial lakes here.
Okay.
South Carolina apparently refers to its largest lake as their inland sea. Maybe locals can confirm or deny that in the comments. Lake Marion is a vast reservoir covering nearly 172 square miles. A giant dam spanning several miles on the Santee River provides hydroelectricity and forms this lake, which stretches nearly all the way to Congaree National Park.
Wow, that's big.
Nevada is home to very famous lakes like Lake Tahoe and Lake Mead, but those are shared with other states. So the largest lake entirely in Nevada is Pyramid Lake, at about 175.
I feel like if the bit what's in the state is bigger than that, it should count, but maybe
Might not be though.
But maybe not, I don't know.
Miles, this is the first saline lake on the list and is in fact a remnant of a much larger lake, Lahontan, which dried up about 9,000 years ago at the end of the Pleistocene Ice Age.
Wow.
The second largest state, Texas, ranks just 10th place. The Sam Rayburn Reservoir does a bit better among reservoirs, being the 9th largest man-made lake in the US. It's, of course, the largest lake entirely in Texas at about 179 square miles in surface area and located in the Far East. The Angelina National Forest protects wooded areas around the lakeshore.
Oh, there's a big lake there.
We return to the Midwest with Wisconsin's Lake Winnebago. Measuring about 215 square miles, it formed at the end of the Ice Age when glacial meltwater was blocked from flowing into Green Bay. Today, this lake supports several of Wisconsin's larger cities, namely Appleton, Oshkosh, and Fond du Lac, with hundreds of thousands of residents relying on it for drinking water.
Makes sense, it's next to it.
California's Salton Sea, measured at 318 square miles in 2023, probably shouldn't exist. It emerged in 1905 when a series of California's Salton Sea, measured at 318 square miles in 2023.
It looks like a foot. That's the toes.
Millie's saying that these are the toes, by the way. I can kind of see it. I think more of a rocket ship. I'm in more of a rocket ship.
Yeah, now I'll pick something
I
else.
know, because I initially thought what you're
Let's
thinking
not
now.
Probably shouldn't exist. It emerged in 1905 when a
Pretty
series of
Yeah.
poor irrigation
Is it?
decisions diverted the Colorado River's water, rapidly filling an ancient lake bed. At first becoming a popular tourist spot, runoff from farms and extreme salinity soon led to mass wildlife deaths and desertion of resort towns. This is a fascinating but very depressing case in California's environmental history.
I can imagine that's not
Montana
good, is
brings
it?
us another insanely huge reservoir with Fort Peck Lake. Occupying nearly 383 square miles along the course of the Missouri River, it's located in an extremely rural part of Montana.
Very
Despite the
rural.
lake's size, which ranks it as the country's 5th largest artificial lake, there's essentially no development on its shores except for the dam creating it.
Okay.
Okay.
Minnesota is famous for its 10,000 plus lakes, and the absolute largest one of them all is Red
massive.
Lake. It's actually very close to being 2 separate lakes
Ooh,
because of
only
these
just.
peninsulas, but as a whole, it's about 444 square miles, and for metric system enjoyers, that breaks the 1,000 square kilometer mark for the first time. Most
That
of
is
the
just
lake
too
is part of
big.
the Red Lake Native American Reservation. Geographically right between the previous 2 states, North Dakota beats them both and claims 5th place with its 575 square kilometer reservoir, Lake Sakakawea. It occupies
Okay.
close to half of the Missouri River's path through the state and is the 2nd largest man-made lake in the country, behind only another Missouri River reservoir, Lake Oahe, which is shared by both Dakotas.
Okay.
The final 4 lakes are all natural lakes, and Louisiana falls just shy of the podium with the 630 square mile
Natural
Lake
as well.
Pontchartrain. Located right next to New
631.
Orleans, it's crossed by a causeway, which is the longest continuous water crossing bridge in the world. Geologically, Pontchartrain is technically
Let us know in the comments how long it takes to drive that bridge. That'd be interesting, because we're going on a bridge to Il Ray soon, aren't we?
Yeah.
And I wonder how long it will take us to do that. It's like a 10-minute drive, and that's a long bridge. That must take a long time.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments how long it will take.
an estuary with its open connection to the Gulf of Mexico. 3rd place goes to Florida and its Lake
730.
Okeechobee. With its surface area of about 730 square miles, this ranks it as the 2nd largest freshwater lake
Wow.
entirely
It's
within
basically
the
a
lower 48
sea.
states,
That looks like a
behind
sea to me.
only Lake Michigan. Despite the immense size of this lake, big enough where you can't see land on the other side, it's very shallow and averages only 9 feet deep.
That's still massive.
The Great Salt Lake of Utah
Oh,
is
I forgot
second
about
place
Great Salt
for
Lake.
now.
Yeah.
Recorded at about 950 square miles in 2021, this is
I
in
wanna go
fact
there
a
so
record
bad.
low for this incredibly salty lake, which has been subject to drought and water diversions in recent decades.
Okay.
Historically, it was well into the thousands of square miles. As recently as the 80s, it hit 3,300 square miles. For the time being, the Great Salt Lake remains the Western Hemisphere's largest
stunning.
saltwater
That
lake
is
and is of
beautiful.
I wanna
utmost
go to
importance
Utah.
to protect. And at last, we
Oh,
arrive
of
at the
course,
largest
Alaska.
lake in the
Why
largest...
do we always forget about Alaska? It's all, when we talk about biggest something, it's always Alaska. Always. I bet the comments are just like, you should have gone with Alaska. It's obviously Alaska. I always forget about
Why
Alaska.
did I go for Kansas?
State, Alaska's Iliamna Lake. At 1,012.5 square miles, it's the 7th largest lake in the country, behind only the 5 Great Lakes and Lake of the Woods.
Now that's just the
It's
sea.
situated in remote southern Alaska,
It looks like
between
the
the
sea.
national parks of Katmai and Lake Clark. No giant and isolated lake like this would be complete without its own lake monster legend. Real or not, this lake is home to all kinds of fascinating wildlife, such as rare freshwater seals. Although very hard to reach, the scenery at this lake would certainly make the journey worthwhile.
I can imagine.
And that's all 50 states.
Wow. Hopefully we'll get to all 50 states and lakes in the future.
Yeah, I want to go to Utah.
Yeah, hopefully it's warm weather when we go, so maybe Alaska might not be warm. But I think Alaska gets quite warm in the summer.
Don't know,
I
let us
don't know.
know.
Let us know in the comments below. Enjoy that?
Yeah, I did, but now kind of want to go and see lakes.
Yeah. Smash that button, guys. Smash the subscribe button. Watch the video.
Have a fantastic day.
I'll see you legends in the next one. Peace.